Okay, I lied about doing better art, but we're going to work on some word problems with percentages. Okay, ACT sample question was a student missed 20 out of 100 questions on an exam. What percentage of the questions did he get correct? Or what was his percentage score correct? All right, well, 20 out of 100 equals 20%, right? Or 2100s. I mean, they're all exactly the same thing. So 20%, there's our percentage score, right? 20 out of 100 is 20%. So the student obviously got 20% correct. Oh, no, wait. 20% was the number that he got incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
He missed 20 out of 100. So if he missed 20 out of 100, well, 100 minus 20 is 80. He obviously got 80 of them correct, which is 80%, which in most classes is a low B. So there you go. If you've got, if the student has missed 20 out of 100 questions, and he's missed 20% of them, the percentage that he got right is the remaining 80%, because they need to add up to 100%. That's all the question. You said that, excuse me, asthma's acting up. You said that one of the prompts said 13 out of 20 cans, aluminum cans on average, get recycled in the U.S.,
yes.
Right? Okay. 13 out of 20 cans get recycled in the U.S. And the question was, what percentage are getting recycled?
Yep, what percentage are getting recycled?
And not what percentage are not getting recycled.
Correct.
We'll do both.
Okay.
Okay, so we basically need to turn this into an equivalent fraction with 100 on the bottom. Because whatever's on the top, if it's an equivalent fraction, will be our percentage. Percentage is just some number out of 100, right? So if we multiply, this is where it's handy to know multiplication tables and division. Otherwise, you're going to be working on this all day. To get from 20 to 100, we have to multiply by 5. And to have an equivalent fraction, we'll have to multiply the top by 5. 20 by 5 is 100. 13 by 5 is 65. Which you might have to work out on paper or with a calculator. Pretty sharp to do it in my head. But anyway, so this is an equivalent fraction to this because we multiply the top and the bottom by the same number. So these two numbers are completely equivalent. And 65 out of 100, as we've covered before, is 65%. In fact, one of the ways I thought about this when I was a kid, and still do occasionally, if we move the 6 and the 5 down here, and we move this percentage bar down here, and we move these two zeros down here, and we add a 1. I mean, this is even drawn or written in a way that kind of looks like 65 out of 100. That percentage, that symbol kind of looks like this bar and the 100. The 1 is missing, that bothered me, but okay. Oh yeah, I said we were going to do both, right?
Yeah.
So 65% of cans then, according to this little bit of information, this little factoid, get recycled in the U.S. I don't know if that's actually true, but for the purpose of this math problem, it's fine. If 65% do get recycled, then how many don't get recycled? This question might ask for either one. Well, 100 minus 65 equals 35. And the percentage of cans that do get recycled and don't get recycled have to add up to 100%. It has to be all of them. Because every can either gets recycled or it doesn't. I guess you could cut the can in half and recycle half of it. But for the most part, every can either gets recycled or it doesn't. Those are the only two possibilities. So if all the cans are 100% and 65% of them get recycled, then that means 35% of them don't get recycled. What was the last one I saw you? Saw you checking out there. Throw me one more example.
I'm trying to remember what it was. I mean, sales tax always comes up in this thing.
Oh yeah, we talked about a sale that you might see at a store, or calculating sales tax.
Yeah.
If the sales tax rate is, we'll go with a very easy one, 10%. If you buy something for $20, and the sales tax rate is 10%, well, that means you're really multiplying 20 by 0.1, right? Or 0.10, because this 10 hundredths is the same as 10%. It's also the same as 10 over 100. I mean, they're all exactly the same thing. Let's do that. 20 over 1 is 20. So if we multiply 20 by 10, that's 200. If we multiply 1 by 100, 100. That equals 2 over 1, which is just 2. And yeah, 10% of $20 is $2. 20 times 0.1, which would also be just 2. Or $2. If we're talking about like a percentage off sale, you go to a store and they say, hey, all of our blue jeans are 50% off. Well, if you're looking at a $50 pair of jeans, %50 is just half. So what they're talking about is half off. They're taking $25 off the price of the jeans, and you're left paying $25 because they take off half and you pay half. What if the jeans are not 50% off? What if the jeans are 20% off? Not such a good sale, comparatively speaking. If you're pretty good at doing this math in your head, you already know that that's $10 off, so the jeans are $40. But we'll work it out on the board. That would be 50 multiplied by 20 over 100, which is really just 50 over 1, right? Times 20 over 100. 50 times 20 is 1,000. 1 over 100 is 100. And when we simplify that, reduce that down, we get 10 over 1, which is just 10. The amount of the discount is $10. And $10 subtracted from 50 would be $40. Should we do another sales tax one?
Sales tax, or even what you'll see sometimes is like comparison shopping. Hey, these jeans are $50 at 30% off. These jeans are $75 at 50% off. Which is the better deal?
All right, there are different ways you can conceptualize this. I mean, $50 at 30% off would really just be $50 times 70%. Those are completely equal. Or excuse me, they're not equal, but
I was about to say those are
sorry.
no.
I'm confusing myself. $50 times 30% off would give you the amount of your discount.
Yeah.
$50 times 70% would give you the amount that you're actually paying. And when you add those together, you'd get 50. Is what you get. But so you can either conceptualize this. You can either think of this as 50 times 30%, figure out what that is, and subtract it from 50 to get the amount that you're paying. Figure out the amount of the discount and then subtract it from 50. Or you can just figure, well, 30% off means you pay 70% of the original price. So 50 times 70% is going to give you the
So
same.
how do I do 50 times 70%?
Same way we did it before. You can do 50 over 1, which is just 50.
Yeah.
Multiplied by, we'll do the 30 first. 100. 50 times 30 is 1,500. 1 times 100 is 100. And if we simplify this, 15 over 1, 15 over 1, which is just 15. So $15 is the amount of the discount, and $50 minus 15 would be $35. And guess what 50 times 70% is? It's also $35.
Yeah. Now, if I'm amazingly fortunate and I get to use a calculator on this, I don't type in all these numbers like that.
No. Remember that 30% is 31 hundredths. It's just 0.3 or 3/10. They all mean the same thing. So 50 by 0.3, that's what you type into a calculator, which gives you 15, which is the amount of the discount. And the 50 minus 15 equals 35. And that's the amount you're actually paying for the jeans.
Yeah. That's important to remember when you're doing testing, is pay attention to what information they want. Do they
Yes,
want how
because-
much do the jeans come off, or how much are you paying for the jeans?
Because you could calculate the amount of the discount, and that might be what they're requesting, but they might request the actual price paid for the jeans, which means you're not done once you figure out the discount. You have to subtract that discount from the original price. Again, if you want to, you can conceptualize this as, well, jeans that are 30% off are equivalent to jeans at 70% of their original price. And again, either way you calculate it, whether you calculate the discount first or you just factor that into your percentage, you get the same answer. For the sake of simplicity, I guess when you're starting doing this, you should probably calculate the discount first. But remember that that's a discount. If we're talking about $60 jeans and they're 25% off, that's a $15 discount, and 60 minus 15 equals 45. So you're actually paying $45 for the jeans. Don't answer that you're paying, and they'll probably put that in one of the bubbles. They'll make that, they'll dangle it out there as bait for you. They'll say, hey, are those $15 jeans? They're $45 jeans now. Your savings, your discount is $15 from the original $60. But what you're actually going to pay for the jeans at 25% off is $45. Oh, and then you get to add sales tax.
Don't forget your coupons.
Yeah, coupons. $45 times 8%, which would be 45 over 1 times 8 out of 100 equals something over 100. 45 by 8 would be 360 over 100, which is $3.06. Excuse me, $3.60. Unless you want to spend a lot of time with pencil and paper, you might need a calculator for that, or just do lots of multiplication and learn to do it in your head. So yeah, they might ask you, how much sales tax would you pay? Well, the amount of sales tax is $3.60. Or they might tell you, if they're real tricky, they might say, well, the jeans are 25. They were originally $60. Now they're 25% off. The sales tax rate is 8%. What's the total amount you have to pay for jeans, including sales tax? Now you have to figure out how much the jeans cost at a discount, and then you have to add the sales tax. So once we've got all that, we have to add 45 plus $45 plus our $3.60 in sales tax, which is $48.60. There you go. So none of this is terribly complicated, but remembering all the steps and getting them all right and putting them all together can be difficult. And I would say, if you're not confident in that, do it a lot, because it will come up over and over in math class and on exams. That's how I got good at it. I did it frequently, and I did it when I went shopping, and I did it when, I'm a cheapskate. I don't want to pay more for jeans than I have to, so I'm going to do all of this math and figure out how much money I have to spend. You said we were comparing jeans, right? We had a A $50 pair at 30% off, and a $75 pair at 50% off.
I can't remember what numbers I made up.
All right,
That sounds
so
good.
$50 times 30% off. That's one pair of jeans that we could buy, or we could buy another pair of jeans that are $70 times 50% off. That's our discount. And we have to figure out which pair of jeans is the better buy. Maybe they're identical jeans at two different stores, but the two different stores have two different prices and they're running two different sales, two different discount rates. So, to which store should we go, or to which website should we go and buy the jeans? Well, if it's a website, comparing is easy because you can just open up a tab and get it to calculate, right? But let's assume you live back in the dark ages and you have to go to an actual store.
Oh,
That was the worst, wasn't it? So we figured out that 50 times 30% is $15, and that meant we would be paying a total of $35 for the jeans. 70 times 50%, what's half of 70? It's 35. And you can work that out on your own. But so that would be the discount. And 70 minus 35, that's what you would actually pay for the jeans, which is 70 minus 35 equals also 35 because we're talking about half off. So the discount rate and the amount you pay for the jeans should be exactly the same, the discounted amount. So this pair of jeans ends up costing you $35, and this pair of jeans ends up costing you $35. So you shouldn't have a preference. I guess go to the store you like better, because they're going to be exactly the same price. You might make your buying decision based on sales tax rates. They might be two stores in two different towns, and one town has an 8% sales tax rate and the other one has a 9% sales tax rate, in which case probably go with the 8%. So some states don't have sales tax. A little strange to us in Arkansas. I have trouble remembering that, but there are a few states out there that don't have sales tax, so they don't have to deal with that.
Yeah. Lucky ducks.
They are lucky ducks. All right, anything else we need to say about percentages?
Well, I don't think so.
Okay, see you next time.